Okay, I'm live now, but it's not where I'm supposed to be.
It says live now.
Okay, I'm live now. I'll just have to put another live stream, correct everything. Okay. Tell her to look for me on there. I don't understand why they're not. Y'all give me just a minute. I've got some issues here on my live stream again. Apparently it did not come up on what it was supposed to do. The live stream did not come up what it was supposed to do when it said I had a video tonight. Shoot. I don't know.
You're live right now, but
okay, I'm live, but I guess nobody's here yet because I don't know if it went to another stream or not. But let me see. If y'all just bear with me just now, I'm trying to find where this is on the internet. Because for whatever reason, I'm not showing up that I am live anywhere else, and that is crazy. It says that I'm live here, but that I'm not. It doesn't show it doesn't show that. So let me go over to my studio. Okay, is anybody with me here tonight? I don't see anybody, so that tells me it may not be playing in the right spot. Because what I did was I scheduled a live stream, and then when I went on there, it told me that the live stream had been deleted. I've got StreamYard. I've been trying to get StreamYard to actually perform well enough for me to use it full time, but for whatever reason, it's not doing it. So I'm kind of disappointed in here. I don't know why. I don't have anybody on here right now. I'm not seeing anybody here. That's the thing. I know you say it is, but I don't see it here. I don't know what the problem is. Okay, everybody just came up for odd reason. I don't know why that is. I apologize again. The StreamYard software is not doing exactly what I hoped it would do, and I may have to go back to the Ecamm software because it's not putting it out there when it says it's going to do it. I'm going to cover a few things tonight. I want to go back and check. There's a couple of new ones, but they have very limited information on them. So I'm just going to barely tell you the basics of it, about it, and play a little video on it. The first one I'd like to talk about is the one that we've been following, that Marilane, I can't pronounce it apparently right, so I've been corrected 2 or 3 times by y'all. I appreciate it. Marilane, anyway, the girl that traveled to Birmingham and did not make it. There has been some developments on that case. They searched the river. They searched the river, Mississippi River. They continue to search the Mississippi River. And I apologize. Let me get over. I'm still trying to find my video for whatever reason. Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, I found it. They searched the Mississippi River with boats and sonar, and they are doing it even more so now. But they don't think she's in there because one, it'd be very difficult to locate her if she was in the river. To start off with, they'd have to have a place for her to go in, and once a vehicle goes into the water, unless you have all the windows down and immediately floods, it still will float. It will float. It might float 200 or 300 yards before it actually sinks. And the Mississippi runs such a strong current, it could be downriver up to a mile or even more. I don't really believe she's in the river though. Here's a kind of a tidbit of this. What we found out. Apparently, the police, they did a press conference at the police department today, and I thought I had it here, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they said. They had no new stuff. That was one thing. They had no new stuff. They basically said that they are continuing their search, and it's what's making it hard. It's multi-jurisdictional. It's where she left from. It's on the way down. West Memphis. It's Birmingham. It's all that. Sure, the phone quit pinging in West Memphis, but Arkansas, and Memphis right in the area. But it's up to 3 miles from that point. So you're talking about a huge area to search. Now, they have not found her, and they hadn't found her car. The timeline is actually a little. I read it today, and I never could get kind of. I never could get it bear down. Between the time she left the motel to the time she stopped for gas, somebody said it was like 6 hours, which is only a 3-hour drive. So I don't know what that's about. One thing. And I think, there was one lady that said, I gave her $10 for gas. I don't think that's accurate. I don't think she's talking about the same person, because she did have a credit card where she got gas, a receipt where she got gas right outside of West Memphis. She was on the phone with her mother and said, I am lost, I am confused, and all this. But, apparently she was one of the reasons why she was going to seek mental treatment was she's not sleeping. They said that she would stay up for days on end, or she would not get any sleep. And even if she stayed at the motel, she didn't get any sleep. So, and I have and been basically sleep deprived. I have been this way occasionally, have been sleep deprived, and you can easily get confused. And it's not, I didn't do it on purpose. I was working narcotics, and we were up all night watching a place, and then we did a search warrant in the morning, and time we did all the paperwork, we'd be up like 30 hours, 36 hours even in a row. And you can really kind of get your head in a different zone when you don't sleep for like 24 hours at least. I mean, it's just easy to get confused. And I don't know how much, if any, sleep she had. Now, one of the detectives said something that was kind of new and unknown, and somebody brought it up, and he told the people, he said, you're good. He found out some things about what's really going on. Going back a little housekeeping, I started wearing these earphones tonight because I had been using these little buds that went in my ears, and man, that drives me crazy. I don't know what it was about them, but my ears roared for about 2 or 3 hours after a broadcast. But apart from that, the police officer said that earlier, about 2 weeks before she made the trip down there, she had bought an airline ticket to fly to Birmingham with Southwest Airlines. But at the last minute, she changed her mind. I don't need to fly. I feel something bad's going to happen, and all this, where she might have been suffering from some type of anxiety, or where like panic disorder or something, where you can kind of fear of the unknown and fear of flying. I know that I do not enjoy flying a lot. I would rather drive, or I would rather go some other way than fly. But so she canceled the flight and she drove, and she decided to drive by herself, which a lot of people are saying, why go by yourself when you got all this, you got this family can go, especially a husband can go. We don't know the answers to that. A new thing, though, I want to show you a little short video. If I can find it here. Okay. I'll show you this. This is her incident where she went into the service station. She was got on the videotape. It's not the best in the world, but I want you to, one of y'all tell me what you see odd about this.
To the far. Sipping on her drink. No, she not distraught at all.
What did y'all see? That I mean, it's bad. It's hard to see. But what did you see? No, she didn't have any shoes on. Looks like she's barefooted. Entered into this Shell station barefooted. Let's play that again. You watch it. I don't see any shoes.
To the far. Sipping on her drink. No, she not distraught at all.
I don't know. That to me is strange. I don't know. In today's world, walking across there, a lady of her age walking across there barefooted with all this COVID thing and everything else coming on. I just think it's strange. I really did. She is barefooted. She appears to be barefooted. So, I could see driving in the car barefooted. I'm doing that, or wearing your socks and everything. It just looks very, very strange wearing barefooted inside a store with COVID and all this other kind of stuff going on. And I didn't see a mask either. That's one thing. Let's watch that one more time. I hate to keep going back to it. Tell me if you see a mask.
To the far. Sipping on her drink. No.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. You don't, you're not looking at her straight on a lot, but it's definitely easy to tell she's not wearing shoes for sure. And that to me is weird, to not wear shoes and walk into a convenience store. That to me is weird. Let me play this too. This is something that came, a little short video. There's no volume. And this guy has posted 2 videos, one on here and another one on another one. And I don't know what he's trying to make out of it. But see, this is kind of some of the weird stuff that you get out there. But I see if somebody can tell me what he's trying to do. I have no idea what he's trying to say. See, I mean, you get all kinds of people giving you advice and giving you stuff, and it's just crazy. Yeah, she was drinking. She may not have had a mask on for that. You're right, Miss BB. I didn't, to be honest with you, didn't even think about that. I was more or less concentrating on her feet. But I didn't see one. But yeah, I agree. This guy, I don't know, but it's taken away from people. It's taken away from what's really going on. Is we don't need a lot. I mean, I don't know what he's got, like 900 and something views on this one thing. I don't know, or maybe 9-something subscribers, but it's taken away from people really trying to solve it. I don't know what that's all about. I've got so much stuff on here. Let me look at this real quick and see if this.
Leila was a visitor to our community.
Oh, that's the FBI on the other one. Now, this is okay. Let me get over here. This is about all we know about this Carter case. Really, it's about all we know. You know, I don't know if if the sheriff or anybody has any other information, they're not sharing it. And the one thing that the police said today, and when I watched an interview by one of the detectives that's living there in our hometown, he said, look, we're not investigating this as a criminal matter. As far as we know, it's not a criminal matter. And I agree with him. It's not right now. But what they are investigating it is just a welfare concern. Because one, he made the point, it's not against the law to disappear. You can, right now, you can go and put all your stuff in a suitcase or without a suitcase, and you can walk away from your life. It's not against the law. It's not the right thing to do, and it'd be bad for your family. I mean, this girl had 3 kids and a husband, but it's not against the law to do that. So getting the police involved, they are trying to convince the police that, one, she had some mental issues. She wasn't sleeping. She was on her way to a mental hospital. So she may be in danger of her life. So basically, they are put out a welfare concern. So even now, say they stop her. They see her car, they stop her. And then they approach her and they say, ma'am, your husband's been looking for you. Everybody's worried about you. Your family's upset. And if she seems mentally stable, if she seems like she knows where she's at and knows what she's doing, and she's not, crazed or anything, they can notify her family. They can notify everybody that where she's at and she's safe. But if she says, look, I don't want that life anymore. I've changed my mind. I want to go away. In fact, I don't want you to tell them where I'm at or where I'm going. Well, they say, well, we've got to tell them we made contact with you and you're okay. Well, that's fine, but I'm out of here. She can leave. She can leave. And I mean, if the officer doesn't see a reason to hold her, you don't have to hold her. You can't hold her. And unfortunately, that is the law. She can disappear if she wants to. Now, if she was found, and with all of this that's happened, I imagine the officer would hold her until they had a mental evaluation. They would either call the paramedics, let them examine her and see if they believe that she is in her right mind, test her cognitive skills and all this kind of stuff. But in the end, it's not against the law to disappear on your own. And that's what the officer said today. He said, look, we can basically look for her and pursue this, but up until right now, she hasn't violated any laws. That's it. Okay, so we're still going to cover this case. We're still going to cover some things. We're still following the Susan Morphew case. Nothing, I checked right before I came on, nothing has come. Where was the plane ticket for? It was for Birmingham, to fly to Birmingham. We're going to stay on the Susan Morphew case because, as far as I know, nothing has transpired to give us any indication that an arrest is imminent or that there are or any new information. If anybody does have any information, new information, I'd appreciate if you would speak up, because I checked right before I came on and I didn't find anything to. I mean, still a lot of people reporting on this, still a lot of YouTubers reporting on this, but so far it is kind of in a limbo state until the police come out and state something further. Okay, the next one I'd like to just touch on. There's not much information on either one of this that would tell us anything. And one thing I want to touch, you're right, Denise, she'd need money, but we don't know how much cash actually she carried, and if she was planning this, did she carry money? Did she hoard money? And hopefully going to do it. But her credit cards had not been anything on your credit cards or anything. And here's what somebody said: she filled up with gas just outside of West Memphis. With that car and that mileage, they said she could go about 150 to 200 miles in either direction. So, they may be looking in West Memphis and she may be in Montgomery, Alabama, or she may be in Birmingham, or she may be in Nashville, Tennessee, or she may be back towards her home. We don't know where she's at right now. And the phone, for whatever reason, may have a malfunction. But she was disoriented. She told her mother, "I'm disoriented, I'm lost, I'm confused right now." So I don't know if that was a setup for her to disappear on her own. I don't know if it was just truly that way. We just don't know. We don't know what's going on right now. But up until this point, it's not illegal to run away. Sure, my wife has considered it many times. No, I'm playing. I want to talk about another Georgia mom. This is a mom of two that vanished on the 4th of July, leaving a party. She sent a text to her friend when she left and said, "I made it." That's the only verse she said. And get this, she left in a hot pink. I'm talking about hot pink car, small car with a blue stripe on it. I mean, the sheriff said, "How can you lose a hot pink car with a blue stripe on it?" It's almost impossible to go missing. They said it was bright pink 2002 Chevy Cavalier with a blue stripe, and her home is in Heard County, Georgia, and she left to go to Jackson Gap, Alabama. She left, texted her thing and said, "I made it." That's the only thing she says. But the weird thing is the phone pinged in the opposite direction of her house. And the sheriff said it's heavily wooded area up there. He took a helicopter up there, but they didn't find anything. And so I'm going to try to play. Let me see if this is the one, because I'm covering this other one, and I'm not sure if which one it is or not. Hold on a second.
Tonight, a desperate search to find a missing mom of two boys who hasn't been seen in nearly 3 weeks. Natalie Jones disappeared 4th of July weekend. 11 Alive, she knew her, talked to Jones's sister, who is pleading for her safe return.
No one has seen Natalie Jones since July 5th. Jessica Bishop says her sister, a mother of two, just disappeared without a trace.
It's been excruciating. We had no idea. It's literally like she was just picked up out of nowhere and vanished.
The Heard County Sheriff's Office says Jones was last seen in Jackson's Gap, Alabama, in her hot pink Chevy Cavalier. Her family says they were told her cell phone pinged off a tower in Franklin, Georgia that day. Bishop says shortly after Jones was reported missing, investigators searched from the air and on the ground but found nothing.
We don't know what to do anymore because like I said, we go and search, but we don't even know where we're searching for, or where we're searching at anymore.
The family is desperate to find Jones, someone they say wouldn't just go silent.
She's always on social media posting pictures. Either she will take her children, or she always lets her children know where she's going. She lets one of us know where she's going. Being a mother, Bishop says Jones especially wouldn't disappear knowing her kids need her. Her youngest son keeps asking where his mom is. He called Natalie's mom and Said, I don't want to talk. I want to talk to mama. Where's mama at? Where's my mama at?
That remains the question. Where is Natalie Jones? Bishop says Heard County investigators tell the family there still aren't any great leads right now, but the search continues.
It's a waiting game.
Yeah, see that it's kind of weird. This is the car. This is the car. I mean, it's not a car that can be easily hidden. It's not. I don't know how in the world that that car could be hidden. And this is the missing person poster. She's got a couple of tattoos of her kids' names on her wrist. They have tried just about everything, but look at the bottom thing I want you to listen to. She's been diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia, but is not taking her medicine. So, this is not really may not be a true abduction or taken in any way. She's bipolar and schizophrenic. So she may have just, and you're not on your medicine. That's the weird thing about bipolar, and I've seen hundreds of people with bipolar. Schizophrenia, though, is a little bit, I haven't seen that many on schizophrenic because those are usually, I'll be honest with you, they're usually in jail or they're in a mental hospital because it must not be that severe for her, because bipolar, what happens is they get on their medicine, they get to feeling great and think, well, I don't need my medicine. They go off their medicine and then they have an episode. But schizophrenia, I mean, she could think she's somebody else. She could think she had a call from somebody in a different area of the country. I don't know how she could even have a normal life without being on some type of medication and be schizophrenic and bipolar. To me, that's off the deep end. But that is something that you have to consider, because if she had a manic episode on bipolar, or she had a depressive episode on bipolar, then she could have, and she's schizophrenic, anything could happen. She could dream, she could fly, anything. It's just a very, very bad combination. I would want to know, the thing I would like to know is why she wasn't on her medication. I mean, why? And the fact is, when's the last time she had an episode where, has she ever done this before? It's just, I don't know. And when I saw that, I started not to even cover this because, every day, every single day, I look on the internet and there's hundreds of people disappearing all over the United States. You got to watch what you put out there, because a lot of them come home the next day, or they're mixed up in some type of drug activity, and it's not somebody else. I mean, police spend thousands. I guarantee you, on this particular case itself, the police have already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. The helicopter's not cheap, and they run a helicopter across the top out there, probably costs $250 an hour, and then the gas mileage and everything on the bottom. Now, I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Human life is absolutely worth it, but we don't know what her state of mind was. Just by her saying, I made it, thanks, I had a good time, basically shows she probably was in a manic type of state that I don't think when you're bipolar and schizophrenic, you're ever normal state of mind. Maybe we can have somebody here on that would tell us that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leah. You're absolutely right. And your brother friend had that in the facility many times. You're right. I can't see her not being on medicine with both of those diseases. It's bad enough to be bipolar and not on medicine. A true bipolar, where you go from the highs to lows all the time, back and forth. But for schizophrenia, I mean, it's such wide range of, is it mild case? And I don't know, can you have a mild case of schizophrenia? You know what I mean? I don't know. But either way, I don't understand how they have kept from finding a hot pink car. And since this has happened and since I saw this, I think in my mind, I have seen some hot pink cars, but I never paid any attention to what kind they were, even in my area. But I'm sure it's been a long time ago since this. But, keep your eyes peeled. If you see this car, call the police and let's try to get her found and get back home. I think this is the next one we're going to feature right here. This is a missing person case out of California. She disappeared in Joshua Tree National Park. This is LLoyd. She has a child. She apparently was a little depressed because she was a hairstylist, and she went on vacation just to kind of show her friends, I just want to check out for a while. I want to get off the grid for a while. And I agree. Comment there, a friend, bipolar, OCD, that's right. It needs meds, are important. But anyway, this LLoyd, a couple of strange things happened. She disappeared. She's 37 years old. She went to Joshua Tree, and that's in California, 29 Palms area. She told her family she just needed to chill out for a while. COVID, it really just kind of brought her down. Her business was kind of in lockdown because of COVID. She was a hairstylist. So she goes. Now, it's a little confusing if there was somebody with her or not, but a couple of strange things. She was very active in Facebook and Instagram. Just prior to her leaving, she deleted her Facebook page. That is kind of strange. And the only thing she did was she had some pictures posted on Instagram up until about 2 days before she went silent. They can't find her phone or anything. Now, her car was found abandoned, and their front windshield and her back windshield was knocked out on the side of the road, and the front of her car looked like it had been in an accident. She was not found around the car. They was undetermined that there was a crash, so the troopers basically towed the vehicle. But at that time, she wasn't known to be missing. Her parents reported her missing about 3 or 4 days after their last contact with her. But you can see she's a pretty girl. I don't know if what was on her state of mind. They said that she would have not done anything to herself because she did have a child that she was crazy about. This was a post here about it. Last seen in Walnut Creek, California. The actual Walnut Creek that is searched, and they did not find anything. But that tells she's going camping a few days to unplug. So, that is, there's very little I can tell you about this case other than this girl just basically disappeared out of thin air after a couple of days being out there. Now, what could have happened, is she got out camping by herself and she got abducted or somebody, or she could have been in an accident and like where her car was found, and then she could have had a dramatic brain injury and basically walked away from her car and walked into the desert, and they'll find her body sometime later on. We just do not know. This is one of these things that's like they vanished in the thin air over it. But you can see, and this is like in the last 30 days, that these are 3 cases that have brought some media attention. Think about all the cases out there that we hear about every day that don't, and all the kids that turned up missing. You know, NamUs, and I've talked about NamUs. It is the thing that you can get on as civilians. You can join. It's free. It's NAMUS. I think that's the MA NamUs. Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, the website is www.namus.gov. And it is a government-run website for law enforcement primarily, but as a citizen, you can join. You just got to put a few things. We joined as a website, and what it does is it lists every missing person reported by the police in the United States. It also shows, if you say you plug in a name, and it's been like 10 or 15 years ago, or even 5 years ago, and there's been a body found in another state that could be them, like, I'm not talking about through DNA or but it's just kind of something you check, and they put that in there so that police can kind of go back, say the person missing was 5'5", weighed 150 pounds. A body was found of a female that was 5'7", weighed 130 pounds. It would be kind of connected to that, and then a law enforcement can kind of compare the two. Now, of course, the law enforcement side of this is vast. As a civilian, you're only going to see who was missing, the circumstances. You can track missing person cases there. So if anything comes up, they're going to email you and say, "Hey, you got alert on this one that you're tracking." But anyway, it's a neat site, and it also has unidentified bodies too, where they don't show the actual body, but they may show a sketch or a cast of that body that you can look at. If you're interested in that sort of thing, I would definitely join up, because it is free, and it's a pretty good resource. I'm sorry I don't have more information on the Jones girl out of Georgia that disappeared after the one that has the schizophrenia and the bipolar. We are still going to follow this case, though, and make sure. I hope they will find her pink car and maybe find her. But it sounds like she had some type of episode associated with schizophrenia or her bipolar. I mean, it's very easy to see that could have happened. Very, very easy, especially if you're not on this. And now the girl in the desert in Joshua Tree, that's another one. I don't know. She could have been depressed because of the situation, but you got to think, I mean, would she harm herself with this child at home? I don't know. I know some people that have tried to kill themselves and they still have a child at home. So I guess that is yes to that. So we don't know what the situation. We're going to continue to follow that, though. And also, I want to touch on a little bit on the case, and I don't have it up here, on the Leila Cavett case. Some things have come to light on that case. They've actually got a video of her getting into a car at the, it is causing depression. A video of her getting into a car at a service station near Walmart where her truck was found with the child. And the FBI is now involved in this, so that's a big, big plus for her finding her too and what's going on. Apparently, they figure something criminally is happening. Now, I'm going to play a short video clip on this. And also, Dr. Phil has even taken the time to investigate this case also. So obviously, he considers it. So we're going to go into that. If y'all don't mind, we're going to go into this a little bit more because of information that, yes, a silver car, Denise. Let me go ahead and play one portion of here the FBI.
Is now on the case of a missing mom mystery. Leila Cavett vanished 3 weeks ago, and agents today released new images from the last day she was seen. Local 10's Terrell Forney is live in Hollywood with an update. Terrell.
And the young woman at the center of this case had only been in South Florida for roughly 24 hours before she disappeared. One of the first and final stops she made was to this gas station in Hollywood where cameras were rolling. This is one of the last known sightings of Leila Cavett.
It appears she went missing on July 26th, so it's during that time that's really critical for us.
Nearly 3 weeks later, the FBI is releasing a new clue. That 21-year-old mom visiting from Georgia was seen on surveillance cameras getting into a Lexus sedan at the racetrack on 441 and Hollywood Boulevard hours before she vanished.
We are investigating every possibility as to why Leila went missing.
Detectives confirm Leela and her 2-year-old son were alone for the drive to South Florida. The two were spotted stopping for food at a Cracker Barrel in Vero Beach, July 24th. But their vehicle was a white Chevy pickup truck that was found ditched days later near a Walmart in the very same plaza as the gas station in Hollywood.
Leila spent time in the areas of Hollywood, Miramar, and Fort Lauderdale Beach before her disappearance.
To make matters worse, Leela's son Camden was found wandering alone near an apartment complex in Miramar on the Sunday of her disappearance. It took days to identify the toddler and for relatives out of state to realize something was amiss. They've been organizing local search efforts ever since. Leila's family maintains she has no known connection to Florida.
What's giving me hope is the fact that I know my daughter is a fighter.
Her disappearance is very, very mysterious, and again, we're extremely concerned. I will tell you, our goal and focus right now is to reunite Leila with Camden.
And Leila was at this racetrack at least 2 times on July 25th, once in the afternoon and a second time later on at night. Detectives are really centering their investigation around this Lexus. They want to interview anyone and everyone who came into close contact with this missing mother. That's why they are making this case a very public one. They are asking people to call 1-800-CALL-FBI with any information. And by the way, there is no specific information as of now on that Lexus. Reporting live from Hollywood tonight, I'm Terrell Forney, Local 10 News.
What a mystery for police. Thanks a lot there, Terrell.
Yes, and then as you mentioned, didn't the guy on Facebook say that it was a black car? He did. The black male that said that she came down to meet him to do a job of some sort, and he was going to the Everglades to do something, the alligators, said that she got in a black car. You know, I don't know. I don't know who this is in this silver car. That, you know, I kind of, now if you think about it, didn't the black guy, he had his car searched out there, wasn't that a silver car? That may be something I need to look back through on my notes. I don't know where I put it because I thought this case was probably going to be filed away until we had new information, but they did search his car out there in the parking lot, and I thought it was a silver car. Whether it was a Lexus, I don't know. This is another video.
Leila was a visitor to our community, having arrived on July 25th. Leila spent time in the areas of Hollywood, Miramar, and Fort Lauderdale Beach before her disappearance.
It's been almost 3 weeks since Leila Cavett disappeared. Her son found wandering alone in Miramar. Today, the FBI releasing new information in the hopes of finding the young mother. Hello once again, I'm Jackie Nesbro.
And I'm Jawan Schrader. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. NBC6 reporter Amanda Placencia is live in Miramar with the new details in the investigation. Amanda.
Yes, Jawan, and the FBI today says they are starting to put together some of the pieces in the case of this missing mother, Leila Cavett, but the search is far from over.
Her disappearance is very, very mysterious, and again, we're extremely concerned.
Newly released surveillance photos giving us some clues as to where Leila Cavett went before she vanished.
Leila spent time in the areas of Hollywood, Miramar, and Fort Lauderdale Beach before her disappearance.
On Thursday, the FBI confirmed that Leila was with her 2-year-old son Camden when she came down to Florida from Georgia on July 24th. This picture placed her at a Cracker Barrel off I-95 in Vero Beach. The next day, the FBI says her cell phone pings show she was near Las Olas Boulevard and Fort Lauderdale Beach during the day. Surveillance photos also showed Leila getting out of a Lexus sedan at a racetrack in Hollywood the day before she disappeared. The frantic search for Leila was set off on July 26 after her toddler Camden was found wandering alone barefoot outside a Miramar apartment complex.
Leila's separation from her son is completely out of character. Her family and others in our community are very concerned about her safety and well-being.
Leila's father previously said he was worried that she may have met up with a man in Florida through online dating, but the FBI would not confirm that info. The case of this missing 21-year-old continues to bring a lot of twists and turns.
We're pursuing every lead to include we're trying to identify and contact everyone who she might have spoken to or have come in contact with. So that's what some of the assistance that we're looking for from the public.
And the FBI says that they have not had any contact with Leila since her disappearance, so they are urging the public to come forward with any information about the whereabouts of this missing mother. If you know something or have information that can help, you can contact them at 1-800.
You know, I understand that. I cut it off a little bit. That black guy that I can't remember his name, he calls Shannon, I think he calls himself, but says he's a voodoo god or whatever. He claims that he's in Texas now and he don't want to come back and be re-questioned, but they apparently know about where he's at. I don't know if he's in Texas or not. He is my number one suspect from doing something. You know, it's good that they do have the video, but I kind of think that's his car. And she may have not been in any danger at first. You know, it may have something she said or decided not to go through with whatever they were going to do and wanted to go home. And that's when things turned south. I've got a couple of things. Yeah, I know that area down there, what you're talking about. I looked up some of the stuff on it. It's not a good neighborhood. I've got a couple of little small clips from Dr. Phil, if you don't mind me playing them. I hate to just play clips on here, but I think it's important enough to play it. One of them is his lawyer, the family's lawyer, talking about it. I don't even know how they got in touch with this guy, but he's from Chicago, but he's not anyone that I've seen in the stuff since then. So I'm going to try to see if this is it first. And if it drags on, I'll cut it off. Well, we're getting into the child. Dr. Phil, of course, is concerned pretty much about the welfare of the child. And he thinks that even at that child's age, that he might blurt out some information about what really happened. You know, mommy's with some guys, or mommy bumped, you know, anything. The kid might say, mommy fell down, or mommy did this, or, you know, I guess that, you know, there's been admissions like that where it's led the police to pursue some type of criminal aspect. I want to play one little short thing where Dr. Phil interviews, I think the sister and either brother-in-law, brother, or whatever friend of her, and we might get a little insight by that. Okay, hold on one second here. You know, while this was playing, and when I looked at that, and when they talked about not having any money, that truck that she drove down there, if it was gas, it probably got about 12 miles to the gallon. I mean, they don't really get very good gas mileage. Those big trucks don't. So let's just presume that it got 15 miles to the gallon. I think that would probably be over exaggeration, but let's just assume they do. That thing's about a 40 or 50 gallon tank. So, you know, she's going to have to have a good bit of money. Now, if she had a past history of drugs, and I think one or two of y'all commented about that, she could have taken some drugs down there for somebody, and got paid, or was going down there to pick up drugs and carry it back up and get paid. Or, you know, it's hard to tell. I know this guy, Shannon, he looked like he was high when he was doing his thing. Yeah, she said that she was selling her truck to Shannon, but how is she going to plan on getting back home if she's selling her truck to him? I mean, how is she going to get back to Georgia where she lives and her child lives and her, you know, how is she going to get back? It don't make any sense that she would sell her truck to him and not have a way to get back home. And once she got home, what was she going to do for a vehicle? I don't buy that. I don't know. I think that was all a part of a ruse, maybe to get her down there. Maybe that's she's on drugs and no care. Yes, very well could be. I mean, she was just arrested less than 8 months, I think they said, or 18 months earlier for meth and some other drugs. So yes, that could be, but something took her down there. Something brought her down there. If it was, he might have promised her that, oh yeah, we can do this or do that, or we can get any, you know, I mean, you can buy drugs at home. You don't have to drive to Florida to get them. And say if she could save, if she was selling stuff to make money, if she wanted to do drugs, she'd do drugs where they're at. Drugs are readily available 24/7 in any place in the United States. Don't forget, I worked narcotics for almost 20 years, and I can tell you, unless you're buying the big stuff, you're buying kilos of cocaine, kilos of methamphetamine. If you're into it big time, you probably want to go to a port of entry, you know, South Florida or even Atlanta. Currently, Atlanta is probably the largest distributor of methamphetamine in the United States. I mean, it's a major hub for methamphetamine. And yeah, you're right. Drugs cost money. So if she's getting all of this stuff for gas money, what is if she's going to buy drugs? It don't make no sense. She could sell all her stuff up here and buy drugs up here in Atlanta or wherever she's from. I don't, you know, maybe what I thought from the beginning was, I thought, well, maybe she's carrying drugs for somebody. She agrees to carry a good bit of meth down there to meet this person to get paid for carrying the meth or being like a drug mule. But if that was the case, then they may have sent money up there to her, or they may have said, we'll cover your money when you get down here, plus give you a couple $1,000s for carrying this drugs to us. And it would probably have to be methamphetamine or something like that, because cocaine is pretty prevalent in Florida. It doesn't make any sense that she would sell her vehicle, though. I think that was a ruse on the guy that fled to Texas. And I want to know, how did he get his money to go to Texas? And why did he go to Texas at this particular time? If he's a witness in this case and he knows it, then he needs to stay around where they can talk to him. Sure, they might know his details, like that guy said. Yeah, they know his details, but I guarantee you they don't know exactly where he's at. Now, I just don't believe it. Yeah, and here's the thing that I was thinking about too, and I think one of you made the comment. I think I'm gonna highlight it here. Here's the thing. So just for instance, and we're just gonna throw this out there. Let's just say she had made contact with that guy, that Shannon guy, and he tells her, oh, come down here and you bring this drugs down here and we can, we'll pay for it. We'll send you the money up there and you drive down here with this drugs, or you come down here and you pick up some drugs and you carry it back with you to Atlanta. And as soon as you get to Atlanta, we'll give you $2,000, $3,000 for the trip, basically a mule. But when she gets down there, they realize she can't handle it. She's spacey. She's, for whatever reason, maybe she realized she's a drug addict or something freaked them out. So they said, no, we're not going to do this. Well, she may have ran her mouth in the wrong way, and she may be dead now, and they may release the child instead of doing something bad to him. And, you know, we hope that's not the case. But something drew her down there. She didn't carry all her clothes to move. She didn't carry furniture. She didn't like rent a U-Haul to take down there. There's no indication that she was going to stay. You know, she didn't bring a bunch of his toys and a bunch of his stuff. There's no indication that she was going to stay. And I don't think she would have either left her child and just tossed him out of the place for no reason at all. You know, one, she may have been high out of her mind and forgot she had a child or whatever. Or two, she's met and something's happened and these people have taken her and released the child knowing that the child would be found and be in a foster situation just like it is today. I don't know if you've noticed, listen to her family talk, they are sketchy kind of. They're like, we'll, don't worry about anything. You come back. All we want you to do is come back. It's almost like they suspect maybe that she's back into drugs, doing drugs, and abandoned her child. So they're just telling her, hey, well, all we want to do is get you back okay. I personally think that there's a strong possibility that drugs are involved. Either she was going to go be a mule for some drugs, or she got into something. She saw something that scared her. She tried to leave, and they took her. I think this is a case that probably will be solved by somebody running their mouth about it. Now that the FBI is involved, they're going to throw some money into this situation, and who knows what will happen. We're going to continue to follow this case too. But now, I do want to say we are continually watching the Suzanne Morphew case. I am continually listening for information. S.A. Potts, if you're listening, I know that you were on last time with us a little bit. I'm waiting for you to email me on that information we discussed. If you could email me, I sure would appreciate it. Let's talk about it on email and not on live chat. About you had some information, I think, about a daughter, and I just want to talk to you via email, if that's okay. And if you want to call me, I'll even pass my phone number to you via email. I would love to hear something more about that. And we are looking at a little bit over 3 months on the Susan Morphew case with nothing happening. Still waiting for the Barry to man up and get out and start talking to the media and other people trying to share his story and share her story. And still nothing. So we are waiting patiently on that. I'm debating now. I do want to pursue the case of the missing indigent people, or the Indians and these reservations and stuff, and I want to get into that. But I feel like there's so much going on right now between the Marilane Carter case, this case, the Cavett case, the Jones case, and the Lloyd case, and still staying with the Suzanne Morphew case, that we're not going to enter into too much of anything serious, that where it takes 3 or 4 days or even 3 or 4 live streams to get to understand what we're dealing with. we are going to stay hot and heavy on these cases. I got a feeling with the FBI involved on this, though, that something is going to turn up fairly quick. They are very good at their job and what they do. So but we will still follow it. And if any of you have any information that you think you need to pass to me, or if anybody watches this after we close out tonight, if you could send me an email at the missing livestream@gmail.com. One word, the missing livestream @gmail.com, and I will follow it up. And we definitely want to keep all these people on our mind, and to get reports out to them and post their posters, and pray that everything will work out with them, that they're going to be found or come to light what happened to them for sure. And if something happens in the meantime before our next meeting, which would be Monday, thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. Then I will break in if I have internet service. The only reason I wouldn't have internet is if we are in Tennessee where the internet is not really good, then we would be able to maybe get somewhere to do it. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. If you like what we talk about here, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if we said anything that could helpful, push the like button. It does help YouTube share our channel. And the more people share this channel and the more people watch this channel, the better chances we do have out there to somebody would give somebody some information that we could solve one of these missing cases. That is the only reason that I do this program, is to solve and find people that are missing and bring some closure to the families. It's not, I'm not making any money off YouTube, believe me. And so we are going to keep on keeping on, and we will see you Monday, unless something breaks on one of these other cases and I'm in a position where I can talk about it. Y'all have a great night, and Friday night. And yeah, there is so much more to say about the Cavett case. The black guy did it. You think black guy did it? Well, you know, I have my opinions about him too, but you know, there's not enough evidence right now. I think there's not enough evidence why the FBI didn't take him into custody, was because maybe something in the video showed she did leave with somebody else. Also, there's not enough evidence to know that this black guy took her into custody, or even she is harmed. Like I said, there's going back. If nothing else, they could pick her up because they could charge her with child abandonment because she left her child. Even if they find out, hey, say they stopped her and she was like, hey, I'm not missing. I'm with these guys and they're my friends. Then they need to take her into custody for child abandonment. And then once they got her away from it, then she might say, look, I was in custody. These people did do this, but I didn't saying anything I could to get out of the car. So a lot of things are going to be investigated once she is found. And I'm sure it'll all come out in the end. Thank you, Leah. I appreciate it. But I'm going to let you go tonight. And if things break out and anything else, we'll be sure to let you know. And if something happens or you got information about anything, any case that we discuss or any case period, please email me. And I'll only share with law enforcement if I feel like that it needs to be addressed right then. And if you want to remain anonymous to law enforcement, we can possibly do that too, as long as the information is well enough that they feel like they can act on it. So I know that they have phone numbers down in this area that is completely anonymous as Crime Stoppers. And if you have information you'd rather leave it anonymously, I'll make sure that you get that number and we get that done. But we definitely want to solve these situations. So if you would, tonight I am going to put on just a blank screen here for a few minutes with some music behind it. And that allows me to put, when all of this film is processed, that allows me to put in the final cut a thing. YouTube put some place cards up there and allows people that do go back and watch this later on to see that we do have some other stuff out there, and maybe they can watch it and want to follow the channel. Yeah, I'm sure they checked the cameras and found out there was really a black car. I'm sure they did. But right now, we got what we got. So I will see y'all Monday unless something breaks in the meantime. And thank you so much for watching. You don't know how much that makes me just happy that somebody would actually want to listen to an old guy like me. And hopefully someday we can go and solve one of these cases. Wouldn't that be neat to have that person up here beside us, listening and talking about how we helped them get solved, and how we you people out there helped solve this and bring this child home or adult home. So anyway, I'll let you go. Y'all stay safe from the COVID situation, or just safe, period. And God bless you, and hope to see you Monday unless something breaks. And I'm going back to here. And like I said, this run about 20 seconds. So thank you again.